the lion eating straw that we have in Isaiah 11. In Isaiah 11, and starting in verse 6, it says, "The wolf will lie with the lamb, the leopard will lie down with the goat, the calf and the lion and the yearling will be together, and the little child will lead them. The cow will feed with the bear, their young will lay down together, and the lion will eat straw like an ox." Verse 8, "The infant will play near the cobra's den, and the young child will put his hand into its viper's nest. They will neither harm nor destroy on all my holy mountain. For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the Lord as the waters cover the sea." And a lot of this I started looking into that and trying to think, where would this really be? And it seems to me, and again it's just a thought, I wonder how much of that is around the Dead Sea. Specifically, we know that when the Messiah returns, we have from Zechariah, the Mount of Olives will be split in half. The river will flow from it. We get that from Ezekiel as well. The river flows from the temple and goes to the Dead Sea, and also goes to the Mediterranean. And it provides life. And so that area will become just like the Garden of Eden. And when I started thinking about the Garden of Eden, and I started thinking about the Messiah, and in the Garden of Eden, it wasn't just plants, they also had animals. And wouldn't the Messiah want to see the animals? We know from Genesis 1, and that's going to be it's a different aspect because the birds are actually in verses 20 through 23, but he says, and that, that was a good thing that he created the birds. Okay, and then on 24 and 25, God made all the wild animals, livestock, according to their kinds, and God saw that it was good. So if that's the case, if it's good for the animals, don't we believe that those animals would return and to be around the Messiah? Wouldn't the Messiah want to see his good creation? I don't know that the animals have done as bad of a job in life as we have done as humans. Even though we are also his creation, I think we've screwed up a lot more than the animals have. And so if the bear is there, would he not want to see the bear? He's made the lion. It's a good animal, so wouldn't you want to see it? The wolf. And again, we have the ox, the sheep, the goat. These are all good animals, and he likes, he's made them. They're good. And so would he not want to bring them around him? If he's going to be around the Garden of Eden, and again, his land goes to the Dead Sea, the prince's portion from Ezekiel 48 goes to the Dead Sea, I would think he'd want to be around those animals. And just an interesting thought on that. Are these animals that, they in the Garden of Eden, were the animals eating the other animals? Because there was such a rarity. And so it had to build up their numbers. And I think the same thing may very well be true during the millennial reign, at least in that particular area, that the animals won't attack the other animals when they are in that garden setting around the Messiah. So the lion who is coming there. And remember, there are no lions right now in all of Israel or Lebanon or Syria. Now there are some in the zoos, maybe those will come out. There is a bear. The Syrian brown bear is extremely rare, but it does exist. There's one recently was found around Hebron, Mount Hebron. A leopard is also mentioned, and a leopard is a rarity, but it does exist in that area. Wolf is rare, but it's also in that area. So these animals can very well come into that garden setting from the Messiah's area. And I wouldn't doubt at all that he will, or that they will. Much like Noah and how the animals came to Noah, I would seem to think the same thing would be true of that garden behind the Messiah's land where they would come out. Just a thought on that.